Hey everyone, this is the Manosaurus, my name is Wedge. Here comes part 2 of our series on Theros art and story. This stuff is pretty sweet. After releasing the Planeswalker's Guide to the Gods, Wizards said they would release the second installment highlighting the cities and cultures of Theros. They weren't kidding. There is a ton of exciting information and beautiful art to get to, so let's jump right in. Humans' role in Theros is that they are constantly trying to make a place for themselves in a world seemingly consumed and overrun by nature. It is noted that while there are smaller cities in Theros, the 3 most important are Mellitus, Akros, and Setessa. Mellitus is the Athens equivalent in Theros. It is the center of all learning, magic-related academics, and pursuit of progress. It is a city-state that values freedom of thought above all else. Among their values, Meletians prize their temples to the gods, their ability to use magic, their grand architectural achievements, and what is known as the Reverent Army. Mellitus is a city on the sea. In addition, large amounts of rivers make travel there particularly easy. The city itself is a beacon of mathematical and mystical achievements, as the entire city was created using a combination of the 2 elements. Meletians are very devoted to the gods. Not only are their temples set up on every single street in the city, but phrases involving the gods' names have become common vernacular. For instance, "By Heliod's bright spear!" is something a Meletian would say when surprised. In all of this background and story, there might be some teasers for legendary creatures. The 12 is a group of philosophers that rule over Mellitus. In this culture, being a philosopher is very prestigious and grants someone a high status in society. The 12 is led by the woman philosopher Parasophia. The Reverent Army defends Mellitus. These are religiously trained soldiers who exist to fight off monsters. Apparently, while not as strong as those from Akros and not as sturdy as those from Setessa, they believe their devotion to the gods will lead them to victory. Because of this knowledge that they naturally lack any particular strength, the Reverent Army is taught how to deceive in combat, doing whatever it takes to get the upper hand. Another potential legendary creature, Madome the Wandering Oracle, is an ancient sphinx that is known to visit Mellitus in times of historic importance. It is said that he has the ability to see future events, and when he arrives, it is all but certain that something important will happen. The last potential legend from Mellitus that we got a picture of is Hypatia of the Winged Horse. A strong magic user and fighter, Hypatia was once wounded heavily in battle, said a prayer, and a Pegasus flew to her rescue, making them an inseparable pair in and out of battle. Mellitus is shrouded in a history of darkness, as it was once ruled by an evil warlord named Agnamakos the Archon Tyrant. Said to be immortal by outliving many generations of Leonin, Agnamakos was finally overthrown by the Meletians with the help of divine intervention. The second of the 3 major cities is Akros. All you need to see to know anything about Akros is the Colophon, a gigantic defensive structure built on a peak of steep mountainous cliffs. It represents the power, determination, and steadfastness of the Akroans. They are widely known as the most feared warriors in all of Theros. Akros is run like an army, not a city. Outposts are set up to keep watch on every single part of the Akroan Empire. In addition, worship to the gods is more centralized on Perforos. Even then, many temples are located far outside of the cities for the sake of soldiers stationed afield. The majority of the population in Akros is comprised of warriors that make up the Akroan army, Stratians. These warriors break up into small, self-sufficient groups that hunt and plunder to survive in the field. Their job is to fight monsters who have crossed into their territory and attacked merchants and traders. There are several different classes of soldiers in the Akroan army. The Alamon, or Wanderers, are a group of warriors whose sole purpose is to patrol the border. Known for being both fast and strong, they attack without warning. These are also the troops that scout new lands for conquest. The next group is the Lukos, or Wolves. They are the most elite troops Akros has to offer. They are the ones called in to finish the job the Alamons start. The last type of troop mentioned is the Oromai. These are the Watchers, forces kept inside the Colophon to protect the fortress from invasion. They also function to keep peace in the city. The king and queen of Akros we've seen before, Anax and Cymede. Cymede specifically is known as a powerful seer who was granted powers when struck by lightning. It is important to note that Saimid has had visions about godly creatures such as nymphs growing in power. She believes that is a sign that the gods are becoming more involved in bestowing their power on who they believe is faithful. A potentially awesome creature type could be introduced with Flame Speakers. These are shamans that worship Perforos and primarily reside inside volcanoes or cracks in the earth. Probably the coolest thing about Akros is their dedication to war. The Aroan Games are held annually in the blistering heat of summer to weed out pretenders and allow the most capable warriors to rise to the top. Remember this guy? Yeah, this is Lanathos. He is an Akroan wrestler. Once, after defeating every single combatant in the arena, he fought a wild bull because he felt like it. He pinned the thing down after a day-long battle. The last city we will discuss is Setessa. Looking like something the Selesnya would build, Setessa is located on the edge of the Nistos forest and was constructed to resemble the inside of a tree, with forests and structures radiating out of the center in rings. Some of these rings are dedicated to farming and agriculture, as that is Setessa's main form of sustenance. Setessa is a city filled with mainly women and children. It is a communal society without the concepts of marriage or property. Karametra, the city's patron, is the god of orphans and abandoned children, obviously making children extremely important and highly regarded. It is important to note that there are men in Setessa, but most of them live on a menagerie at the edge of the city. Setessa doesn't have many men because at a young age, boys are encouraged to leave home and find their own way in the world. Setessa's gender roles can be summed up in this one line. It is believed that women become heroes through martial training, while men become heroes by finding their own way in the world. In Setessa, there are things known as nexuses. They are used to honor each of Nilia's seasons. At each of these nexuses, there is a star field, in other words, a vision of Nyx. The nexuses are used to harness enchantment magic from the gods. This phenomenon is known as the Kalema Veil. The Setessan army is split into 4 groups. Each of these groups is assigned to a watchtower named for an animal. The Lina, or Lion Tower, houses the city's protectors. Their leader is Anthosa, who rules the city when Karametra isn't present. The second tower is Hyrax, or Falcon. It is populated by, fittingly, falconers and various scouts. Their leader is Phaedra, an orphan from Mellitus, who at the age of only 19 earned a leadership role with her skills in battle. Next is the Basara Tower, named for their word for fox. This group of warriors protects the Nistos forests and actively prevents those without Nilia's blessing from entering. These warriors are specifically welcomed by Nilia and spend a great deal of their time living among the trees in the forest. They are led by Nikita, a skilled archer in her 50s. The last Setessan tower is Ophis, or Serpent. This tower is for various spies and warriors that are parts of covert operations. In addition, these warriors look for lost or abandoned children to bring back to Setessa. Their leader is Callias, a child sold into slavery. Apparently, she lost an eye and several fingers before being rescued. How strong must she be to still get a good leadership role? I expect good things if she's printed on a card. We hope you enjoyed our summary of the major cities in Theros. We thought this set would bring a lot of flavor and detail, and we were not disappointed. Part 3 is going to cover the monsters and various non-human groups in Theros. That should be really cool. Subscribe below for the most up-to-date Theros spoilers and everything else you need to know about magic. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.